Hey, everybody, how we doing? Wearing the jumper, just for Beardo, because I know how much he loves it. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're good. Welcome along, and I suppose let's let the chaos ensue. Hey, Beardo, how you doing?
Hello, Justin. I'm glad you've dressed nice for the occasion.
I have made an impression. I made a bit of an effort. So you've got your normal shit t-shirts and.
I mean, if I knew it was fancy dress, I'd have made an effort. No,
cheeky sod. How are you anyway? You good?
Yeah, all good. Living the dream.
Good. Yeah,
dream.
Roger's going jumper. Right. Before we get going, Gillian Daniels, happy birthday. I thought I might forget, but Gillian Daniels, very happy birthday to you. I hope you've had a great day. And yeah, there you go. Yes, the jumper is on, and I'm already baking hot. Oh my God, bloody hell! Right, Rebecca Keynes, thank you so much for the super chat. $79.99 Australian dollars. Thank you so much, Rebecca. So kind of you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, and thank you for being a member for 5 months as well. All right, okay. We're gonna delve into some things, and so I know obviously when you do your live streams, it's all very light and airy and funny, and you talk about all kinds of stuff, right? But we're going to kind of dig into some things about debunking and debunkers in general. And I know you've got things you want to say. And I also know that that you have critics that have their opinion of you as well. So we'll go into some of those.
Yeah.
so yeah, we will. So how do we start? So I want you to, first of all, to tell me, how do you see your role on YouTube? Because I know that some people have an opinion of you as this loudmouth debunker, stirs up trouble, blah 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 blah, and somebody who debunks the paranormal, but that's not necessarily how you see yourself, is it?
No, I never ever set out to be a debunker. I didn't know that there was a debunking community on Facebook. I just wanted to look for spooky clips that may be real, something that I could latch on to. And obviously the more and the longer I've been doing it, the worse it's getting. And even now, I don't go out to disprove the paranormal. I go out to prove it, and it's almost like a byproduct that I just keep disproving stuff. And it's like, oh, you're a hater of the paranormal. Well, why would I drive for 6 hours to 30 East Drive and pay 300 quid or 400 quid for a night there if I was just a hater?
Yeah.
Oh, why do you keep going back there if there's nothing there? It's like, well, because I think there may be, because people I trust have had experiences there, you being one of them.
Yeah.
I believe I've had 2 different experiences there over, 7 nights and 9 days. So 2 things happened there that I haven't experienced anywhere else. So no, I'm not debunking the paranormal. I'm a YouTube debunker that debunks YouTube videos.
Does that wind you up, or do you find, or is it a case you've got to explain yourself? You just find you got to start like, I'm not a debunker of the paranormal. I'm just having a go at these teams or these YouTubers.
I don't have to explain myself as often as I did. I think one of the turning points for me was going to Parameet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Parameet, isn't it? GPN Parameet. And there were a few people that were like, I don't know about and when there were questions from Kev Kerr, I could see people looking at me when they were talking about debunking. And then I got talking to these people, and they were like, "Well, you actually cared about you really believe in the paranormal?" I was like, "Yeah, I've had experiences, and every time somebody pulls some stupid stunt, or there's some guy pretending Vlad the Impaler is haunting his living room, or Smug Puppy's got stuff teleporting through his ceiling, it makes my experiences seem either crazy or cheap, or that I'm lying, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Those experiences may not be a ghost, but I'm not lying about them. To me, those experiences were real."
The sound of jumpers. I'm gonna guess. Look, I've told my mods, be prepared for the trolls, and there's a whole bunch of trolling me for my jumper. Bastards. So, anyways, moving on. Right. So, how do you, when you first, I know when you first started, you was doing lots of stuff on Twitch and you was doing lots of gaming and things, and you kind of fell into this debunking lark. But
Yeah.
since you did the debunking of YouTube team, how has that changed over time? Because you've been doing it a while now. So has it changed? I know you've generally said you've kind of calmer now than you used to be. But is there anything else other than that?
I'm
No.
I made an active I tried to train myself to be calmer, and I genuinely think I made a mistake with it.
Yeah.
There are certain things that I did that I shouldn't have done, and I made apologies for them, and I've tried not to do that again. Personal stuff and getting really down in the gutter with people, and there was one guy, I was like, 10 grand, we'll go and have a charity boxing match. And then 2 years later, somebody did it to me, and I was like, you want to threaten me?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just ridiculous and stupid, because it is content at the end of the day. So I've calmed in some aspects, but then I'm slowly reverting to being me again. I tried being nicer. I tried
Yeah.
explaining things better, and I tried being more matter of fact. And all it did was, I think it convinced people that I'd given up caring.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
push harder at me.
Yeah.
And then now and again, I'd snap back at somebody, and then I'd see my comments like, "That's the Beardo we love. That's the Beardo we want, because you're passionate." And I'm like, yeah, I was stifling my own passion for the paranormal and for d- debunking, because I do love debunking. I love going to a location and, there's this claim, and then it's like, actually, I think I've worked that out.
Yeah.
Like going to the ancient Ram Inn, and I'm upstairs, I hear a child's voice, and I'm like, this is exactly what happened to Sam and Colby. And I open the window, and I'm like, this kid's actually stood right there. We the
Outside the
same
window.
level as the street.
Yeah.
They described it as 2 stories up, and it's not. So, but that wasn't disappointing to me. That was like, right, I've removed the falseness from that claim. And I've
Yeah.
also proved that those 4 guys that were in that house, 2 years ago, they lied. They maintained that they were 2 stories up and it couldn't possibly be a person. Well,
Yeah.
they looked out the window. Could they not see the wall and then the street level floor?
And Sarah, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Troll Justin and Beard on one live. Jumper sold separately. Thanks, Sarah. Thank you. So obviously you get a lot of hate, and you've had some issues recent. We'll talk about those a bit later on. But you have had copyright strikes, and you've had people having a go at you. You've had physical threats of violence. You've had all kinds of things, which obviously must have affected you, your family, and everything else, and the channel, obviously.
Yeah.
So, but do you have? I mean, what's your thoughts on? Why are they? I'm trying to think of a way of putting it, but why do you think people are aiming their hatred at you instead of the fake channels and the entertainment channels?
Maybe because maybe because they mistaken what I'm doing for destroying their belief system.
Yeah.
That's the aspect that maybe they don't understand. Is I'm not trying to say to anyone that your haunting isn't real, that your ghost isn't real. I've been asked to go to, I don't know how many residential houses, and I refuse to do them because I'm like, there's so many things that you've got to have in place, mental health and aftercare and things that I can't provide. I'm not trained in any of this, so I wouldn't dare go into somebody's house. And I think people just assume that I'm out to ruin the dream or to just to shit on people, and
Yeah.
that's not what it is. Because every time I see somebody faking, they are shitting on your experience at 30 East Drive, my experience at 30
Yeah.
East Drive, or your experience at home that where you think there's something going on.
Is it? Do you reckon it's just a tribal thing? You know, people have their fans, their hardcore fans, and it's just don't matter what you say, they'll
Oh
always
yeah,
have you have a pop. They'll always have a pop, even if what you say has you're credible in your arguments, basically.
I could put out a video and show it's happened time and time and time again. I can show exactly how they've done it, where they've made the mistake. This is exactly how it's done. And then other debunkers have done the same thing, or I've bolstered what other debunkers are saying. And that's, if I get something wrong, the other debunkers are not scared to call me out for it. Biddle will be the first one on my inbox. I think you've made a mistake there, or Dandalf, because
Yeah,
they will do it. They'll call me out on it. And it's like, I don't. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes, but I'm not lying about it. I'm not making up things to call people fake. I think this should be when people are saying para unity. For me, para unity already exists. It's this community.
yep,
It's when you go to Parameet and a debunker is embraced by 90% of the audience with open arms, or people that once worked on Most Haunted invited me to their locations to do meet and greets, and other locations are now asking me to go there to investigate, like the Priest Cottage, asking for me and Mike from Real Evidence to go. That's where the para unity is. But the people that are going there and then making false claims or outright lying about histories of locations and pulling things downstairs with strings, the debunkers are seen as the outsiders. It's the
yeah,
fakers that are the outsiders. They are not in the paranormal for the paranormal. They are in the paranormal for YouTube notoriety and money, and it pisses me off.
yeah. Talking of that, we'll go into that in a second because there's been a few people mentioning things like that. Just very, very briefly, Mike, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Kaza, Jesus Christ, thank you so much for the 50 gifted memberships. That's absolutely massive. Please,
Go on,
please,
Kazza.
please. And Leanne, thank you for your 4.99. Thank you, Justice for Jumpers. Thank you, Leanne. But yeah, genuinely, all of you, thank you so much for helping the channel. It makes a huge, huge difference to the channel. So thank you so much. And yes, if I don't say it straight away, I genuinely mean it. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you. So yeah, let's go into this money territory because it's aimed at you, right? And all of this is you are just. Well, actually, let me quote the wise words of Mr. Barry Guy. Prepare yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So on a recent, he's done a couple of posts on Facebook, and this was one of them before he started blocking people left, right, and center. So he's basically said, the Paranormal Debunker build their content around tearing down other creators, often using their own footage, their ideas, their intellectual property, while confidently spinning edited narratives and presenting opinions as facts. So says Mr. Barry Guy. Now, I've heard this a lot. You hear it from a number of people. You hear it from the likes of Barry. I've heard it from Danny Moss. I've heard it from a few other people. Thank you so much to Wayne. Thank you so much for the jump attacks. Cheeky sod. But there's been a few, right, who are saying debunkers are going in, they're spinning this narrative. Then they're just doing it for their own money making purposes. You know, you're spinning something which is and the last thing that Barry said was that's content farming. It's not about truth, it's about monetization. That's from Barry. So what is your answer to what the likes of Barry and Danny and others have said about debunkers generally, or about you personally?
I will say this about Danny Moss. Out of all of the names, he is the only one ever to have apologized to me. About a month and a half ago, he apologized to me for pretty much everything he's ever said about me because he was heated and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, because we don't get on. We still don't get on, but I'm not going to lie about him to make him out to be something he's not. If I wanted to make money, if I wanted, fake it. Faking paranormal content is easier, cheaper, and it it's more popular. If this was about money, notoriety, popularity, I'd be
Yep.
trying to get onto TV shows or Nuke's Top 5 with my own paranormal stuff, and who better to fake it than Debunkers? I mean, like, you can't question me. Look, I've had this extraordinary thing happen. Um, but if Debunkers get paid, good. If we earn some money, if it becomes our full-time job, good. We work every bit as hard as anyone else on YouTube. YouTube's not easy for anyone.
Yeah.
But as you and I both know, we could go to 30 East Drive. I mean, I went with you. I spent 2 days, 3 days, 2 nights there, and I didn't even put a video out at the end of it
Yep.
because I did the live streams. They were fun. I was like, there's nothing happened. So what is the point in going through all of that footage? And then there are other channels like, no, I won't say names because it'll cause whatever. They go to 2 or 3 locations a night. They get activity in every location, and then they take 3 weeks off because their videos are already stacked for them. I know of a UK team that everyone believes are real, and they do 2 or 3 locations a night. That's not an investigation.
No.
That's not even ghost hunting. That is maximizing your income doing as little as possible. Because all you've got to do is kick one thing over, pull one string. There's your peak for the video.
Yep.
There's your viewers all piling in. There's your money because you put it in the first 30 seconds and then you don't debunk it to the end, or you don't debunk it at all. We go out, we spend all those hours, we're there till the next morning. I think you were there till like 2 or 3, even
Yeah.
though you
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
you had to
Yep.
leave at like 1.
Yep.
You take all of that footage back and you're like, nothing happened. And then you look for the sound peaks in your editing, nothing happened. And then you've got to try and make an entertaining video out of that. And I've binned a few because what's the point?
Yeah. I
Other
mean,
channels, they still put a video out every week, even though nothing happens. That is painstaking.
do you agree with what they're saying about you? You know, you're basically spinning a narrative. You know,
Absolutely not. No. I understand that me and Seg are probably more polarizing than any of the other debunkers.
yeah.
And that's because we shit talk people. We've got foul mouths and we're the same in real life as we are on camera. I mean, I've only ever met Seg once, but when I met him, he was pretty much the same guy, but without the mask. Obviously, I speak to Kenny quite often behind the scenes, and Kenny is exactly what he is on camera or on live stream. These other people, you hear these stories of them that they don't actually get on until they get into a location, and as soon as it's like action, we funny, we're best friends, and all of that nonsense.
Yeah.
But I find it really, really insulting when people that are lying and earning far more than any of us are, for them to call me a liar. That really gets up my nose, and that's why I get as angry as I do. Is like, how dare you, that we know are lying and you know you're lying,
Yeah.
call me a liar? If I
Is it?
wanted to lie, I'd fake my evidence and, watch the channel take off.
Is it hard not to take it personally in that respect? Because so much is very personal towards you and everything else. So is it quite hard not to take, or do you think, well, that they're doing their thing, that's what that's how they earn their money? Does it?
I don't so much take it. I used to take it really personally. There was a couple of occasions where people came at me, and my wife had to hide my car keys because I was like, "Nah, I'm going to go and knock the door, see if they want to have this conversation properly."
Yeah.
Not violent, like with a camera in my hand, knock the door, like, right, you know where I live, I know where you live. Well, let's have this conversation, and let's have it now, and call me a liar to my face. And that's a stupid idea because I'm either going to get assaulted or somebody's going to call the police. But that's how I was to a degree. Now it's like every time they call me a liar, I'm like, right, that's another video in the back pocket that I'll bring out in the future. I'll just go look at the content because 9 times out of 10, there's something in the video that you can pull apart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly.
instead of fighting with arguing and back and forth, I'll just make another video.
Yeah.
The
And,
same as what I'm doing with Barry now. Barry keeps having these unhinged rants on Facebook and then taking them down, and even Barry's fans are sending them to me because they're loving the back and forth. And I'm loving the back and forth at the end of the day because it's fun. I know that I'm not wrong, and I know that I'm not lying about what is going on in those videos. You know, or even if I was slightly wrong, that wasn't a mask. It still wasn't a ghost moving that chair.
Yeah.
I'm 100% convinced it's a mask. That there's too much information available to me in that video to tell me that it was a mask. And for him to lie about it, that's when it becomes funny to me then. And then when he does these rants and takes them down, I imagine maybe a TV exec has somewhere has gone, can you not do that? And I'm just like, right, there's another video in the pocket, which is why I'm doing another one on the TV show. It's just
Yeah.
instead of arguing and screaming and shouting, I'll call him a silly sausage instead of an effing
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and then just do another video.
And do you? I mean, the other argument is these you debunkers. You're just drama chasing. You want the drama because that feeds your money, basically. And so you're just drama chasing, and you're trying to poke the bear, basically, by going, yeah, I'm gonna have a go at you because then you will react. I get money from it, and the drama just goes round and round and round and round. Is that fair or not?
No, there's an element of me when somebody claps back where I'm like, I'm glad
Yeah.
you've done that. But the drama always starts from, right, in this frame, I noticed that. And then they take that as a personal dig. And
Yeah.
then they will be like, they bullies in that. I hate being called a bully. Um, they are bullies. They are nasty. They are horrible. They are just trying to ruin our careers. They are trying to do. How about we just trying to educate some people? And some people, I've debunked them. They've asked me to go out and work with them. I won't because I think they fake. But they then emailed me. "Oh, I've got this bit of footage. What do you think of that?" And I'm like, "Look, they're actually legitimately looking." Lottie, Explore a Lot. She's emailed me a few times. Do you want to come to this location with me? Not really. What about this piece of evidence? Can I put this out and say it's paranormal? Well, no, you've you taken into account. I've got time for that.
Yeah. And regards trolls, because you are, because you are. I said to my mods, I said, "Oh Jesus, with Beardo attracts trolls like flies to shit, right?
Yeah.
Just be aware and on your guard, right?" So I honestly don't get trolls. I genuinely don't get it. It's like, what's the point? What is the point? I
I
mean,
mean,
go on. You just give us your views on them.
I think the majority of them are one person because they keep getting banned in live streams and then another account will
Yeah,
come in straight after it and they've given themselves away. There was a channel created, a week and a half ago, and I recognized something in there. And then I looked into the metadata on YouTube and I was like, oh, I can actually take that metadata into the Wayback Machine and I can work out where this channel came from because it was 12 years old.
yeah,
What they didn't realize was, in by doing that, I found the original account that used to be a member of mine until I debunked the channel that they liked. Then I found the band that the channel was initially set up on, and they stupidly listed the recording studio that they recorded it in that's literally half a mile from where they live. So I went to that channel. I was like, I'm not going to copyright strike you. How's the weather in? And I told them exactly where they were, and then the channel disappeared.
I honestly, I just find it bizarre that lot. I generally can. So, do you reckon there's any way that you can? Do you think it's possible where you can debunk these fake channels, but without attracting the criticism that you get?
Yeah, by becoming really boring and monotonous and trying not to tread on toes, and I'm not willing to do it.
Yeah,
I've long since accepted that I'm just going to piss people off, and I can't change. I can't change my personality and create a YouTube personality. I mean, Beardo, the whole Beardo thing, people think it was me hiding my identity, and to a degree, it's true. But I was a bailiff. I wasn't allowed to have an online
yeah,
uh,
yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah,
presence.
yeah,
So it was Beardo, and Beardo predates this YouTube channel. It predates Twitch. I was originally the bearded geek when I did all the unboxing videos and stuff. So Beardo was long before. It's because I've always worked in the security and then the bailiff and stuff. I had to have a nickname, and when I started this channel, I was originally going to wear a mask.
yeah, yeah. And do you reckon you've ever gone too far, or do you think generally you don't go far enough with these people?
I've gone too far with some people. I think I've I think I've pushed people too far, and then when the clap back at me is massive, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't deserve that, and maybe I didn't deserve quite the levels that I got, doxings and death threats and stuff. But
Yeah.
in hindsight, I'm like, come on. When I've made the comments that I've made, but then there's other people where they've sent me footage. Can you look at this? There's, I can contact a demon whenever I want, and I've got the proof. And then I've told them exactly how they faked it, and then they threatened to cut my ears off. I'm like, I didn't deserve that. That's
Yeah.
you lying to me, being caught out. And it turns out he actually threatened the exact same threat to Danny Moss.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was caught faking in my haunted hotel, and they called him out for it. They never put him in the episode, and he threatened to cut Danny Moss's ears off over it.
Oh, Jesus. Does it make you, I mean, do these kinds of threats and things like that make you more determined to carry on? Or does it make you just think, do you know what? Fuck this. I'm done with this.
If I guess if I hadn't have been a bailiff and a doorman and done security work since I was 19, I mean, I've done a bit of factory work and stuff in between, but I've got not an aggressive personality. I'm kind of aggressive, I guess, because I've always been in aggressive industries.
Well, you don't take any shit from people. Let's put it that way, do you?
It's like, oh, you're arrogant, and it's like, don't mix up arrogance with confidence, because while some of you are petty criminals that are threatening me, I have been dangled off an 8-story balcony by somebody threatening to drop me because he'd skipped bail. That scared me. Some guy shouting on the internet, that's not going to worry me or scare me. The reason I try not to get involved in things that heavy, because it doesn't bother me, is it bothers my wife.
Yeah.
She worries when I go to locations that somebody's going to turn up. She worries that that's why I spent nearly $1,000 on CCTV for the house, because my wife and my daughter were worried when I wasn't here, and that I took accountability for, and that was when I felt bad. Really bad, because my family was scared.
So I'm just blocking a troll. Hooray! Got our first one. I don't know whether Mods, if you've not got rid of Ian Huntley, then Ian Huntley needs to go.
He'll come back with a certain Mr. Harris and a few of the other well-known.
Yeah. Jesus. Oh, we have our first troll. I knew they'd come in because you attract them, I tell you.
That one's a new one.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, do you find it really weird that they donate 79p or whatever they do, and with their, pedophile name, and it's just like, what the hell are you doing?
They put his picture on there as well. It's like, do you identify with that guy, or do you think that that's funny? Because clearly you've got no family or kids, because it makes me want to throw up.
Yeah. I genuinely just, I don't know whether they're not rattle me. They're obviously here for you, but it's, not, how could they possibly be here for me?
That jumper.
With this, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Jen, thank you very much for Mrs. Geek Mars? Thank you so much for your heart. Thank you so much, Jen, for that. But yeah, they've not even been there for you, mate. But I mean, this, that's one of the things that, this part and parcel of the debunking thing is you're getting that kind of attention.
Yeah.
And it's, is it hard to kind of separate? Well, that's just the persona of Beardo. That's not me. That's just because I've been saying things about Twin Paranormal or somebody like that.
Not really, because me and Beardo are the same person. I'm the type of guy that I hate spitting. It's one of the most rude, disgusting things. I'm the type of guy that in a city centre, when somebody walks past, if they spit, I'll be like, do you have to? That's disgusting. And then my wife's like pulling my arm, being like, don't. And I'm like, but ugh.
Yeah.
So it's not that they hate the character of Beardo. They just don't like my character. And I'm good with that. I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, and they're back again. Oh, Jesus. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I've, maybe this is why they're doing it, because they love the attention. Maybe it's an attention-seeking thing. Because we're having to block them and mention them, and therefore it's an attention-seeking thing. Maybe it's that. But yeah, I'm talking of unethical people. I'm going to have to go back to Barry. Because actually, just because of something he said, right? And thank you so much, by the way, for those people donating for the troll tax. Thank you so much. And Kaza, thank you so much for the donations to the mods. The 30 Australian dollars. Thank you so much. And Shadow for the £2 troll tax. Bless you. Thank you so much. And Kaz, yeah, and Shelley, thank you. And Blue Floyd and Sandra. It's so nice to see actual people. And Bristol, thank you so much. Rather than twat trolls, basically. Anyway, yeah. So just going back to Barry a second, one of the things he said, which made me laugh actually, because, and you know why, because one of the last things he wrote was, be critical, be analytical, but be ethical. There, yeah, Beardo, be ethical, will you, with your debunking?
Yeah.
What's your answer to that?
I don't understand how somebody that short can have that big an ego. For him to question anyone on ethics, we've watched episodes of theirs where they have scared the crap out of families. It's definitely a dark entity. It's demonic. It's never anything nice. It's never your Aunt Peru that's popped in for a cup of tea, or it's always this dark, nasty, malevolent thing, and this coming out of the kid's attic space. And you're like, what if the kid watches that? Or you've gone to a scout. Where's the ethics then?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I can't say too much about it, but I have spoken to a few people that have featured on that show, and there is a mental health questionnaire. There is pre-care, but none of them have said anything about aftercare.
Yeah.
And some of them have needed it. I've got a lady that I'm in contact with. I'm trying to make her feel better about her home because I'm not convinced there's anything there at all. I'm like, well, did they bring in a carbon monoxide detector? No. Right. Yeah. Well, that's your first port of call. And just go and get a physical checkup with your GP, because there are many, many things that could be physically wrong with you that could cause some of the symptoms that you're having. Don't dismiss your own health on account of some guy trying to be the next Zach Bagans or whatever it is. Yeah. Them questioning me on ethics and stuff, it's laughable, and I'll just keep making videos because the shows are trash, and I think they're dangerous trash. Everyone's quick enough to jump on the Foreman brothers and be like, oh, well, they're going in and playing on people's religious beliefs, and these are poor people. House is Haunted isn't any different. They may not be poor people on the breadline in the Bible Belt, but they are vulnerable, some of these people. You can see it in them when they're talking and they're shaking and there's that wobble in their voice. And it's like, well, instead of pushing them a bit more, I will put an arm around. Are you okay? Do you need 5 minutes? There's none of that. It's always just this jam, you idiot.
Bloody crow. Jesus. Anyway, carry on.
So yeah, the question of ethics and be critical. When have any of these people been critical?
Yeah.
It's always, oh, that's a ghost, mate. Oh, I've been slapped by that stick figure. You provide... Now, there are some debunks that I will use on TV shows like that, and they're not my debunks. I have learned from Kenny Biddle and Mr. Gray in regards to the SLS device. I wouldn't know what I know about it without those two guys. So then when I say to Barry, or when I say about the show, sorry, if you move that device, you have then broken it. It's not working because it's meant to be at a certain height, at a certain distance. Why is that then attacking him? Why doesn't he then say, oh, actually, I should put it on a tripod? Because he won't get the false positives then. You've seen the 39 Degree Street episode with the,
which is ridiculous,
dancing on the wardrobe. Yeah. There's a coat hanger there. And then he opens the wardrobe. He goes in, oh my God, it's followed you in. No, that's just the delay in the SLS.
Do you buy the argument that, well, we're just having to follow orders by the TV production company, basically, because they want results. Therefore, we have to do what they want. Otherwise, it doesn't get made.
Fine, do what they want, but for entertainment purposes isn't good enough because that's a legal requirement in the UK because of Ghostwatch.
So Joe. Jesus, Joe. Sorry, just that caught my eye, literally and metaphorically. Anyway, carry on.
For entertainment purposes in the UK specifically doesn't wash. It's a legal requirement from Ofcom because of what happened with that young lad after Ghostwatch. So it should then, after the for entertainment purposes, be these are dramatized recreations or something honest about it. But then say they don't do that, they put the episode out and somebody says, haha, you've made an editing mistake there, or I've seen a wire or whatever. You can't then argue that and then say, well, the TV network has told me to do it. TV network don't tell you to argue and to go onto Facebook and cry and moan and call people bullies. And that's not the TV network. That is them personally defending their personal grift.
Yeah.
And the whole Exorcist thing, I'm still...
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Just very quickly, Vicky Emming, thank you so much for the 20 Australian troll tax. And Ghost Wiener, thank you. Jumper funds for the mods. They'll be really happy with that. There you go, Tim. There you
I
go,
know
Lou.
some of his mods. Don't do that.
Get your own jumper. There you go. Here's a jumper on me. Thank you very much, Ghost Wiener. But yeah, I absolutely kind of get your point because it's, and at the end of the day, all of these people are presenting them, presenting the paranormal in a particular way, which is trash, basically. And then you're there to kind of highlight it, either personally or as a team, and you just get a lot of hate from it.
Yeah, but then it's down to the person at the other side of it, because look what happened with Jason Hawes.
Yeah.
Because I did a debunk on his TV show. I did a series of debunks on his daughter, and he's become a personal friend of mine. And he's become friends with other debunkers, other paranormal investigators through meeting and getting to know me. So, no, it's not the TV networks, because Jason has said, we wanted to put more debunking in, but the TV networks won't allow us. That's fair enough. At least that's honesty there. Why doesn't Barry just say, listen, the TV network decides all that. That's out of my hands. I can't say if you're right or wrong. Instead, these guys need to be held accountable. They need... No, Barry. You need to be held accountable, because people will argue with me. It says for entertainment purposes. If you believe that, then, or if anyone believes that, then they are stupid. Well, no, not everyone that believes is stupid. Very few of them are stupid. It's the belief system. It's religious fear. It's the way they've been brought up, the area in which they live in. I mean, if you live in the Bible Belt in the US, paranormal investigators are hated in the Bible Belt because they fear the paranormal.
And how do you see debunk? I mean, the role of the debunker and what you do, YouTube debunking particularly. How do you see the future of it? Because I know we've talked about AI, but I do genuinely think that there is a lot more attention now on the debunkers, and that's coming through with copyright claims. I'm seeing left, right, and center. That seems to be the new thing with YouTube channels: is we're just going to copyright claim you for using our footage when it's right. So do you see that becoming more of a thing that YouTube channels are going to target you with? And therefore, how do you see how do you find your way around that?
It obviously became a thing quite quickly.
Yeah.
We've always had it, but then obviously when I nearly lost my channel through it, and let's just be honest, one of those people that struck me 3 times asked me to look at the footage at one point and wore a Slipknot t-shirt because they like Beardo and they like Slipknot. And the other guy was like, can you look at my footage? And when I was like, all right, fine. It's junk. It's you making the noises. It's you being disrespectful. Right, we'll copyright struck you. That wasn't them defending their content. That wasn't them being annoyed at me because they'd asked me to look. They'd asked me to make a video. That was them silencing criticism. And that just cannot happen.
Yeah.
But I think the bite back and the blowback is for one of those channels in particular. I think it was... I don't think they expected, even people that couldn't stand me come into my defense. Moxley's Paranormal World come into my defense. And people messaging me that I was like, hang on, we were at each other's throats 6 months ago. I've got the time for that. And they're like, I don't like you, but that is wrong. But those decisions, they're getting reversed quicker and quicker, specifically for me and Mike, because me and Mike are constantly getting hit with it.
Yeah.
To the point where Chateau Neuf de Cac, or whatever they were called, they
Okay.
put a copyright strike on me, and YouTube didn't even issue me the strike. I got the email, "You've received a copyright strike," and then they just immediately, there was no strike on my channel. I received another one after it from another channel, and the strike never landed on my channel. It's like YouTube, in their defense, have got, there's an issue here.
Yeah.
People are unfairly copyright striking him. So I guess for a while I had a safe passage. I'm not saying it's there forever for me, but at least YouTube realized there was an issue with my channel and copyright, and they put a stop to it. I don't think Mike has lost one of his copyright.
I think you're right. I think I was listening. I think he's had 6 copyright strikes, which is insane. But he
Well,
he
yeah,
has.
he's only been at it less than a year. Mike's been debunking,
Yeah.
and he's had 6 copyright strikes. I'm on 12 or 13 different. Obviously, there was 4 in one day that I count as one session.
Yeah.
How sad is that?
Well, I mean, it seems like it's just become a tactic. It's like, well, if I can't get my own way, if they're going to badmouth me, I'm just going to copyright strike you for using any of my footage, even though it's on YouTube and it's publicly accessible. I'm going to copyright strike you. It just seems it's very playground behavior, basically.
Yeah, that guy that has just copyright struck Mike from Real Evidence, he was the first copyright strike I ever got, and he was another one. Can you look at this footage? Can you work out what's going on? Yeah, the aerial on your REM pod's not in properly, and I think you've done that on purpose. And
Yeah.
he emailed me, take the video down. I was like, absolutely not. And then he emailed me again, take the video down because your community are being horrible to me. I was like, I've removed any really nasty comments. Anything within terms of service stays just because you don't like it. And then he copyright struck me. I took that to YouTube, and YouTube just went, he's in Germany, we're not touching it. But YouTube are obviously aware of it because Mike had the exact same thing happen, 2.5 years later, and Mike instantly got the decision reversed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, but I'm kind of glad in a way that YouTube are acting faster on it
Yeah,
because
look what happened with things like people's channels getting taken over by crypto sites. Ouija
yeah,
Brothers' channel was gone for 3 weeks. Mine was gone for 3 days.
yeah,
I had Steve messaging me all the way through it. This is how you deal with this. This is how you deal with that. He's like, "How are you getting these responses so fast?" I'm like, "It may be because of the copyright issues, but YouTube is saying no. It's just it's a different. They're not even in the same building, let alone the same office. They just spread out all over the place, and it's just that it's that much of a problem that they're just dealing with it faster and faster. But then there'll be something else they can do. It's happening now, and I don't want to say what it is because I don't want other people latching on to the idea. But it's happened to me, the side-eye guy, Flurio, loads of us recently.
yeah. And do you foresee things getting? Oh, I mean, obviously that's getting better. That certainly is getting better because obviously things are happening, but happening quicker by YouTube. I mean,
Yeah.
but do you see that that's going to be an ongoing thing, or do you see that's just going to be a bit of a blip and people are going to get very bored and now move on to a different tactic?
I think given the last 6 or 7 months and the fact that we are coming out on top, really, it's this impacted my channel, but I had such a barrage of crap so close together that the way YouTube explained it to me was I have got to now rebuild trust with YouTube because I'm seen as a problem YouTube channel because my account was compromised and because of the it's just
Yeah,
they're analytical. It's AI. It's all AI. There's not a person until you've argued with them for hours and hours and hours.
yeah,
But I think the more we win things like this, the more or the less likely they are to keep trying, or YouTube actually step in and reverse strikes onto people because they've got the right to do it. Then do it because then it'll stop.
yeah. Absolutely. Right, Leanne, thank you so much for the 199 jumpers for CAG. Bless you. Right, some questions for you then. All right, Alexis saying, Beardo, have you ever seen a ghost on camera while you were working security?
I thought I did. I saw an old lady walk through a flower bed in Tesco. And it turns out it was because the tapes were recorded for 12 hours and you changed them for the night 12 hours. The tape just weighs thin. And what we were actually looking at was a woman from 2 months, 3 months prior, just bleeding through on the tape. But it looked like this semi-translucent woman just walking through the flower island. Well, the flower island wasn't there 2 months ago. It was further back in the health and beauty section. But for a while, we thought it was a ghost on camera.
That's cool. Right. Roger saying, has anyone debunked anything you've seen or heard during an investigation?
Yes. Dandalf, Danny Moss, Steve from the Ouija Brothers, Paul from Ghosts on Trent. Yeah.
Right. That's all right. That's good. I mean, it's actually, it goes to show actually that, you know, by and large, there's a decent conversation. It's not just Beardo got it wrong, because you'd think that you might be getting a lot more of that. You know, people highlighting you to kind of make themselves look big, essentially.
Twice I've worked with Ghosts on Trent a few times, but 2 occasions we thought we had something paranormal, and I didn't catch the debunk on my cameras and microphones, but Paul did. And then it's the discussion before we put the videos out where Paul rings me and he's like, we can't say it's paranormal because the first one, the sound of somebody walking on gravel outside the church was a cellophane wrap off a microphone, but it just echoed around the church. And the second one, I can't remember what the second one was. Oh, the door in Derby Jail. Once Paul had got the CCTV, because he was sent it before, he rings me and I'm like, I've already put it out.
Yeah.
But you just put a community post out. Yeah, that wasn't paranormal. Ghosts on Trent have got the original footage, and yeah.
Do you want to answer that one?
How bad can I swear?
Say what you want. Anyway, moving on. Rachel's saying, is it nice when a channel debunks something using your evidence, such as a certain vaping video?
A certain vaping video?
Yeah.
Oh, to be, I know what that's about. I did a debunk on My Haunted Hotel. I think what they may not know there is I've got a friend that works at My Haunted Hotel now, Shorty. And I've told Shorty, you know, if you ever get anything you want debunking, send it to me. And I don't want credit for it. As long as the truth is coming out of that place, I don't care. So yeah, when they did a week later or 2 weeks later, they put a video up like, oh yeah, we captured this ghost. No, we didn't. Look, it's a lady vaping and then breathing out as she rolls over. A lot of people were like, they stole your debunk. And I was like, I gave them permission. I don't care. This is me being a horrible money grabbing, nasty debunker. I didn't want the recognition for it. I've done my video. Just be honest. And they have been. So
yeah. One here from Bookie saying, do you all think that YouTube legal team will address the abuse of their copyright system?
I don't know. Only if it happens to a much larger creator, I think. If it was to happen to somebody like Caspersight, I think if Caspersight was unfairly copyright struck because of the amount of subscribers and views he gets,
yeah.
I think that's when YouTube would actually step in and pay attention. Because at the moment, it's just little channels squabbling.
Yeah. I get it. Jan W saying, devil's advocate, is it one thing to view a public video, but different to make money replaying and debunking their intellectual property? Just wondered how YouTube law might see it.
Do you think is it one thing to view a public video different to make money? Well, no, because you couldn't do a criticism piece or on music or a movie trailer, or you couldn't react to a movie trailer. Criticism in any form dies then, because anyone that's making any form of content, reactionary, promotional, or anything like that, that content just goes away and it hurts the other people. Because I'll guarantee you there are some channels out there that, you know, arrange trips to Europe and he paid for it by arguing with me. So they'll cry victim about it, but they're not. They know exactly what they're doing because they earn off us as well.
Yeah. There you go. Phil, hey there, Phil. Saying, what is the best location you've been to? Possibly you've had maybe possible paranormal activity.
I hate saying it, 30 East Drive.
They are.
I mean, obviously, you know, I told you what happened while we were there and showed you No, I walked in, Lee from Three Spires, Dean and Doodle all behind me. Three of us saw something dart from the kitchen into the living room. None of us thought ghost. It's Carol. Carol wasn't there. We just got the keys from her. I didn't because I hide from her. And then later in the night,
Fair,
Dean
fair.
thought he saw something upstairs, and I completely dismissed it because of high EMF from the kitchen tube light. And looking at, I think, yeah, you knew the lady that got really angry with me that sent me the documents, but she was right. There is zero proof that EMF causes visual hallucinations, and I shouldn't have dismissed it. And
Yeah,
then, all right, she called my equipment crap, and I should know better, and she had a point. I didn't argue with her. I agreed with her.
yeah. Cassidy May. What's your favorite Backstreet Boys merch and song?
Cassidy, mate, I think it's those really shiny Backstreet Boys pajamas you got me because they are actually really comfortable and
Oh, he's admitting it. Jesus. Well, obviously they make them. It's that quality product.
it was.
Tim, did you ever receive a copyright strike for crimes against spirit levels? Screwfix are asking.
Tim, I can't wait to go to where are we going? Lando? Is it Landau? No, not Landau. Landaf. I can't wait to go to Landaf with you. I don't care if you're a copper.
John Boy saying, what's your favorite location to investigate? Is it same thing, 30 Drive, or is it somewhere else?
For feeling and just feeling odd every time I've gone there, it would be Candleston Castle, which is, I mean, Amy's Crypt made that place famous. It's not that far from where I live, and I never knew he was there.
Yeah.
I love the feeling of the place and the eeriness of it.
All right. Lou, silly sausage, really?
It's great. Sometimes when I do something like that, people find that far funnier than me calling him short and tying my shoelaces to my knees to make myself look short in a stab vest. And somehow, with that silly sausage line, I've used it on 3 different creators. That seems to have hurt people more. And I'm like, hang on, I can't tease you. So when I say, "Oh, you silly sausage," of course I'm being very sarcastic. You know what I really mean. But why are you so hurt by it?
Yeah, it's funny. Almost, I think it deflates them. It's like, oh, because they're expecting something more, and they get that. There you go. Sky Talker. Hey, Sky saying, Beardo, what should happen when Bad to Bone turns up in chats as a member and everyone's nice and acts like she's normal? Also, Angry Cajun and PDX drop into community chats, all pleasant.
Just leave if you don't want to read the nonsense. If I see any of those people turn up, I've been in people's chats and I've not said anything. Every time I turn up in your chat, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but there's a lot of people that watch me and will be hi Beardo, hi, and the chat just gets. Oh, it's easier with your channel because you're talking to a guest. But some of the channels, I just like to watch the premieres. I watch all the Home Texas stuff, but I'm not gonna say hello all the time because it'll be. And some people get really annoyed when I turn up into the live streams. Like, oh, it's all about him again.
Yeah, bloody fucking guy, I tell you.
Yeah. But I'll watch things and I'll see things being said about me, and I don't say a word because obviously I've got friends with channels that do quite well on YouTube, and their communities don't like me, so I just don't say anything and I don't react to it.
Yeah. Leanne say, what's the most paranormal experience you've had?
Seeing my great grandfather when I was a kid, the thing that started all of this for me. I know there are however many reasons Kenny could say that wasn't. Kenny's never said it's not real. He thinks it's real to me, and he's never. I don't want it debunked because seeing your great grandfather scared me as a child. As an adult, it was like that was an incredible life changing experience, and I wouldn't be who I am and doing what I do without that. But yeah, see my great grandfather. That's the big one.
APRF. Hey, Wes saying, what location would you love to investigate that you haven't already?
The big one for me would be Alcatraz. I'd love, for 2 reasons. It's Alcatraz, the movies and the history of it, and Call of Duty, and it's apparently really haunted. So I'd love to go to Alcatraz. It's just such a big, massive place.
Ms. Paranormal saying, do you think it's important for more people to stand up and bring attention to these behaviors? Great question.
I think that depends on the person. somebody like Crow of Judas, who's not as temperamental as me, somebody that doesn't like. He'll defend himself, but he doesn't get involved. I don't care about the drama. If somebody calls me a liar, I'll clap back. If somebody wants to have a go, I will clap back because that's exactly who I am in my real life. If somebody wants to put out their video and then forget about all the backlash and everything, that's absolutely up to them. They don't have to fight my battles.
Yeah.
I don't expect Crow of Judas to go up against Ghost Theory when he doesn't want to, just to back me up. But when the Cider guy got into trouble recently, I made the decision to defend him. He made the decision to defend me with the copyright stuff, even though at that point we'd had a little bit of a falling out.
Yeah.
But that's me and him. We are quite abrasive. So that's in our personal. I don't expect other people to do it, but there was a thing with Facebook last night with multiple accounts. We're just being rude to women in my community post, and I called them out for it. And I was like, I do not agree with you. These women have basically agreed with my thoughts on it. Don't be so rude. And they were like, I've been a supporter of yours for years. I was like, well, you haven't, have you? Because you would have known how to clap back the way I just did. I'm cancelling my membership. I've been waiting to see that notification for a cancel membership, and
It's not happened yet. Right. Oh, lovely, Zach. Okay. Has Beardo seen the footage from room 1 at my haunted hotel with the orb, and what does he think of it?
it's
Oh, we're
an
going back to orbs.
it's dust.
Oh,
It's dust or an insect. I have never, ever, ever, ever seen convincing
oh, I've not heard about
orb.
orbs in years. Oh, it's kind of nice to talk about orbs.
Yeah, nobody gets in trouble for all. Well, I did a couple of weeks ago. Someone was like, I've captured a spirit in my bedroom, and I was like, no, you've just nudged the curtain. No, it's not. It's not dust. My house isn't dusty. I was like, it doesn't matter how clean you are. There is dust in your house.
I've heard that again and again and again. You know, it can't be dust because I just hoovered this morning. It's like, oh dear God, please save me from these people. Cassidy May, tell me why Beardo wears the Backstreet Boys pajamas every night.
Because they're very comfortable, I'll have you know. Very cooling as well. They're horrible when you take them off because they're full of static charge and I can't touch door handles.
Beardo, did you fully recover from the electric fence?
I think so. I mean, I haven't had any kids since, so maybe not.
There you go. Sadie saying, what castle did you just mention?
Candleston. It's not really a castle. It's an armored mansion house, but it's literally a couple of walls, a second story. There's no roof on it. It's bizarre because it's like a sand dune, and then that just stops, and there's deep woodland, and then this little armored, or it used to be it was a manor house that had been turned into a fortified location during some troubles way
Yeah.
back when. But the story of the village of Treganlaw that was overtaken by the sand dunes and is buried, you can just find a piece of the church hanging out of it. I've never found it, but I've seen photographs of it. But sand dunes are constantly changing, so I can never find the thing, and I want to find it because there's the steeple of a church. This town actually disappeared
That's cool.
under the sand dunes, but the story is it happened overnight. Well, it didn't, but it's still a really cool story.
That's a great thing to try and find though. I like that.
Oh yeah,
Alyssa, I would ask you a question, but I think Beard already answered it by saying Alcatraz. Because if you come
yeah.
to the States, where would you want to investigate? I'm sure that'd be it if you could.
Alcatraz bucket list. Yeah,
Wayneswell, would it be possible to debunk something from yours or anyone else's past?
I think. Yeah, well, yeah. The more science develops and the more we learn about the human brain, then potentially the entire thing of the paranormal could be absolutely shot down there, no question about it. So yeah, you could potentially debunk anything, and that but I won't debunk people's personal experiences. My mum had a very personal experience. My mum was a complete disbeliever. I won't say what it is because she's asked me not to, but it made her a believer. And this was only 3 years ago. And she was like, can you debunk that? I was like, has it scared you? She was like, no, I actually feel really good about it. I was like,
Yeah.
then no, I can't.
Right. Do a couple more. Yvette saying, would you like to experience what I Justin experienced at the university deprivation experiment.
Yes.
So,
It's only the fact that it's so far, and obviously when I was trying to arrange it, or I was going to try and arrange it, all of the, the nonsense with my channel and everything just went by the wayside. But yeah, I'd like to.
Paul Craig, I'm rattling through them because I'm aware I'm getting towards the hour, and I usually only stick to an hour. I'm not like certain people carrying on forever. Anyway, would Paul saying, would Beardo like to visit an old RAF airfields that are haunted like RAF Scampton?
I'll go absolutely anyway. If it's got a reported haunting, I'll go anyway. There's nowhere I won't do. I used to say I'm going to stop doing outdoor locations because noise contamination. But as long as you're honest about that contamination, then go and do it. And it's like, do I want to drive for 6.5 hours or whatever it's going to take me, depending on the motorway, to each drive every 3 months, or do I want to go to Candleston every Saturday night if I want to? And what better way than to go to such an ancient building and just keep filming there, even if nothing happens week after week after week? That's how I investigate those claims there, is by going there as often as I can. And when the weather breaks a bit better, I've bought loads of books, thanks Justin, but I've bought other books about local hauntings, histories, and then South Wales, and then I'm slowly building my book collection out. And I'm just going to start traveling these and investigating, because some of these claims are fantastic.
So
They're ridiculous, but
I've got a real temptation to go back through, like the old paranormal books. I've got loads of old paranormal books. Those paranormal books where it shows you in every county all the various different folklore stories. Just going back to those old stories and just seeing what.
That's my plan for the summer, is to do some on the South Wales coast. I know it's ridiculous, but there's a hill not that far from me. And the folklore story is, if you try to walk from the bottom of that hill to the top of that hill at midnight, the devil will appear as an old man, ask you to carry him, and if you say no, when you get to the top, you will die. That's the Welsh folklore of this hill. It's a steep hill, and I'm fat, so I might well die, but it won't be the devil. But I'm going to go and do that in the summer. Tell the tale of it. This is the hill. Get some nice drone footage. And then at midnight, right, this is the claim. Let's go and do it. Yes, it's silly. Yes, it's a bit of nonsense, but it's our folklore. I know it's not history per se, but this is what people believe.
Well,
so
it's nice to think, in a way, though, it's nice to, so much of folklore is kind of forgotten about over time, so it's nice to kind of keep this stuff going.
The folklore is fun.
Yeah.
There's a statue. You had a lady on that was doing the statue, the things on churches, and they were like, that's an imp and that type of thing. I didn't realize
the Green Man thing.
Yeah. There's one in Swansea that's apparently the face of the devil, and I've seen it and didn't know what I was looking at for years. I always looked at it because it was cool. I was like, all right, people think that's actually the face of the devil, but I'm not going to go to Wine Street on a Friday or Saturday night with my camera and try and film, because Wine Street is like a demilitarized zone on a Friday and Saturday in Swansea.
Right. Last couple more. Pinky say, do you think that people get jealous of the way that we all support each other in this community and have a lot of amazing people?
I don't know if it's jealousy, if they just don't understand it, because other communities don't behave like this.
Yeah.
You don't. There are the groups of the fakers that go out, but they don't have the community vibe. They don't have the live streams and all supporting, and I think it may even be intimidating to them. Like, these guys are like, they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I stream to 300 to 500 people twice a week. That must be to these guys like, hang on, he's done that in 3 years. Oh,
yeah.
Copyright strike him.
Yeah. Ali is saying, are there? I'm sure to talk about Candleston Castle again. Are there stories of ghosts and or hauntings around that castle then, as we could cover that and investigate the claims?
Yes, there are shadow figures. There's the tale of the Goblin Stone. There's 4 or 5 different claims for that castle and the sand dune itself. So
right.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for the questions. I'm just, like I say, I'll do a couple. Like I said, I'll keep on saying a couple more, but there's so many questions coming through. Martin Davison say, where in England would you like to investigate that you haven't been to yet? Mine would be Chillingham Castle.
I'd love to do Chillingham. It's such a beautiful building. but Diana's kind of ruined it for me with the chasing the kids around the table. That was Chillingham, wasn't it? With Dead Cold.
Yeah, that was Chillingham.
And I saw people in the premiere like, "What is she doing? Is she crazy?" And I'm like, "Well, no. If you want the ghost of a child to interact, don't tell him to touch your REM pod. You get a motherly figure to chase them and have a bit of fun." It made as much sense to me as it can for what seemed to be something stupid. That's far more logical to me than holding up a REM pod expecting a you know a deceased child from 1700.
Yeah.
Because if they could see the REM pod and then they saw something flash and make a noise, wouldn't they be scared of the witchcraft?
Well, it's true. Yeah, I get it. Absolutely. Vixen Moo saying, are you guys likely to do a Southwest event or a meet and greet anytime this year?
I don't know. I've done a couple of meet and greets and I've discovered that I am really, really awkward on them. The one with Richard was fine because Richard can just talk. And anytime I started to get a bit like, Richard just happily took over, and then I had to try and interrupt him to get a word in. He's a lovely, lovely guy. I'd like to do more, but I think they need to be organised with people at proper locations because the ones I've done in pubs, they're fun, but when I went to Manchester and I'm surrounded by 12 people that I've never ever seen, and I don't know their names because a lot of people think
Sorry,
that
sorry, Craig, made me laugh. Thank you. Go on.
because I read their name on there that I'll know who they are in person, and it's because they look at me and see me a couple of times a week. And I don't know what these people look like because a lot of people have icons or they have a nickname, and they're like, "Oh yeah, my name is so and so," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, oh no, I'm so and so off YouTube." Right, fine. Because last one, if you've got the time for it, I will never forget this guy in B&M because I was going to take his head off because he was stood three tills down and he's just burning holes in me. And I'm like, my wife noticed first. She was like, "What have you done to him?"
Yeah.
Who? I was like, "Oh no," because at the time I hadn't long finished being a bailiff. I was only a year and a half out of it. And then he comes over, but he's got his sort of head down, which is an immediate red flag to me. And I'm like, this guy's going to go for me. And he realized really close to me. And he went, "I thought you were going to hit me then." I was like, "So did I." I was like, "Do me a favor, give a wave, give a smile, something." And he was like, "Oh, I watch your channel." And I'm like, my wife's just borderline shat herself. And I'm thinking I'm going to get into a fight in B&M because I've bailiffed you or launched you out of a pub or something. And
Yeah.
he was a fan of the channel.
Jesus. So you got to get used to that, being recognized and things like that. But yeah.
It's worked the other way as well, though.
Oh,
I had a
really?
guy stop me in Cardiff and he was like, "All right." And he shakes my hand and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, what's the channel, do?" And he was like, "No, I was in school with you." "What channel?" So, "Oh, shit."
Do you want an autograph? Yeah.
He didn't.
Right. We're gonna leave it there, guys. Just Beardo, thank you so much for this evening. It's been absolutely fantastic. And I do genuinely think it's good to have like these kinds of conversations and maybe kind of make it a bit wider. I think, having debunkers and believers and skeptics and things. And I know you've mentioned it and things like that in the past as well. But I think it's these conversations though about your role, and the perception of your role as well is, I think,
Yeah.
really, really important.
Like the conversation I had with you that I wanted to say earlier was everyone looks at me as a debunker of the paranormal or a debunker in general. I'm not. I'm a YouTube debunker. I
Yeah.
debunk YouTube videos. When I go out, I'm not going out with the express intention of debunking. I'm going out to try and find something otherworldly, paranormal, something I can't even explain, just something to get me excited. 9 times out of 10, it leads to debunks. That's the byproduct. I am not a paranormal debunker. I debunk paranormal. I don't debunk paranormal videos. I take the false and started claims of YouTube videos. That's why when I go to a location, I do what YouTubers do because I should be able to have the exact same experience as them doing what they do. Why are you talking to walls? Well, that team had something thrown at them when they talked to a wall. So that's what I do. Jumanji House, when I called out a demon all night, Paul from Ghost on Trent was like, "Do you have to?" So, well, there's a demon here. So, and Seg's recently done it with Kenny Biddle
Yep.
and Truth or Demons
Yep,
in
yep, Stevie.
Ontario.
Yep.
It's fun to watch, but those are the claims. People make those claims, and you go and recreate those claims to see if you can get. We don't.
Yeah. Hang on. Fucker off. Guess we don't need to throw tomatoes here with how red Justin is. I tell you, just cheeky sod. I am getting. I mean, it's just the lighting. It is the lighting, but dear Christ, this jumper is getting really warm.
Well, yeah, it's meant for the Antarctic.
First thing I'm going to be doing once this finishes is taking this bloody jumper off. It is so warm. But yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you for the donations, the memberships, the super chats. Thank you so much for obviously for the support. I hope you've enjoyed it this evening. Just again, Beardo, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure as always.
Hey, thank you for not kicking me off after 30 seconds.
You are?
Thank you for not kicking me off after 30 seconds.
Well, you know. I know it's funny, but it's great to have this kind of chat that, you know, genuinely. So yeah, thank you so much. Just before you go, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do think about subscribing. If you've not, it all really does help. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Beardo, I shall let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening and take it easy tonight. When are you next on?
My Tuesday lives I've moved to a Wednesday, so I'm basically taking a Tuesday and a Friday off and splitting the content up a bit, but usual stuff. But as soon as the weather breaks, I'm going to be doing a lot more investigation stuff at these folklore rich. I think it's fun.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be cool. Right. Thank you very much. And like I say, just take it steady. Take it easy. See you on Wednesday. And all right. Cheers, Beardo. Speak to you soon. All right. Right, guys, thank you so much. Just let you know, because I did do a tea party last Thursday, so I'm going to do one this Thursday about something other topic or other. And yeah, so thank you so much again. Thank you to all of you guys coming in this evening. Really enjoyed it. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for supporting the channel as well. And anyway, I shall see you on Thursday. No guest, just something paranormal related to chat about. Until then, good night.